Hello, everybody. Probably not sure what is going on at this point, but that's okay. We're going to get into things here in just a few minutes, but we're right now just kind of letting everybody get a chance to jump on here. And I was asked to be a part of this moment, this evening for all of you. So hopefully, you guys are able to take part in this, even if you're at a point where you need to watch this back or share this, because I think it's going to be very important for everybody at this point in time that the things that you're going to hear this evening is important. And I hope that you guys are opening your your hearts, opening your um, I'm trying to think of the best words to put it at this point. Hey, Rich, what's happening? But yeah, I mean, mostly because this, think times like this, situations like this, these are things that need to be, we need to come together. We need to be a family, and I hope that all of you are going to take the time to do what needs to be done. And I think that's the important thing at this point. So, um, we've got some information that we need to share, and I think that's the important thing about this is that you all can be here for at least the next little bit. Please don't go away. You guys really need to stick around for this, and you're gonna find out why. You're gonna find out why, and I hope that you guys can hang out for a little bit so that way you can hear. Hey, Scott, what's going on, buddy? Um, like I said, it's really important that you guys hang out for this. This is some information that is definitely a shock, and I think that's why it's going to mean the most that you guys are here with us. And at any point, you know, yeah, it's hard to put it into words. It really is, and I think that's the tough part about this. And like I said, I was asked to be a part of this, and so I'm grateful to spend a few minutes, even for the next little while, to be here with you and to kind of um, bring you guys a part of this particular journey. So, uh, you know, um, at any point, hopefully you guys will understand. I'm not the one that's going to be bearing the news, so you guys will. You will you'll realize real quickly here who's really going to be bringing the news in for you. But again, there's so many of you that are going to be tuning into this that uh, uh, will definitely be a big part of what's about to be shared with you all. And I know a lot of you. I know there's a lot of you that I don't have never met, but I know there's so many of you that we're all friends, and we're all going to be able to um, come together at this point in time and really you know, do what needs to be done. And so, hopefully, you guys are doing well. I know it's Monday night, and a lot of you are probably going to be very interested at this point of what's going on. So, I'm not going to sit there and banter too much longer, but I just wanted to give enough time so that there was enough people to be a part of this, so that way the news that you guys are about to hear, comes from the source itself. So. Uh, I'm definitely you know doing the best I can to I've known for a few days, and so it's one of those things that you um try to piece it together and think of all the possibilities of doing what's right, doing what's important, and hopefully the rest of you will agree. So I'm trying to be as positive as I can. Those that do know me, that that's sort of my thing. I try to be positive about everything because it is going to be important at this point in time. So um, I will definitely be ready to open up the window here, for somebody important that has some information to share with you. So if said person is ready, he certainly could jump in here and share some news with us.
Hey, Adam, thank you.
Hey, Tim.
And thank you for helping me do this. It makes it a little easier, you know. you and I have become really close friends, so it's just in you're seasoned with this video stuff. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
So it just makes it a little easier.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
So I guess we probably should just get to it, and I'll start towards the beginning. I don't know, month and a half or so ago, we found out that our dog Duke that we adopted had bone cancer, and they said once he starts limping, that he's got 2 to 3 months, and we thought that was bad news, which it is. But then about a week and a half later, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So it just got worse. So I've been going through getting everything ready, the treatments and stuff. It's been a journey, a roller coaster ride of emotions. I went through the ultrasound or the mammogram, the ultrasound, the biopsy, and I've seen the oncologist, the surgeon, and everything. I've got everything scheduled. Today I was had an MRI. I got so much on this calendar. It's crazy. Next week I have 3 tests coming up: a CT scan, a bone injection, and an echo. After that, the week Monday after that, I see my oncologist again, and then the following week, following Monday, I have the chemo port going in. So it's one of them things that everybody. I kind of kept it quiet for a while. I didn't want to, I just didn't want people to worry about it. And I told a couple people, and everybody's like, "Well, you should tell people," or there's got a lot of friends and family that care for you, and we've got a great group of close friends that are doing the healing. I think you're included in that. So eventually, word's going to get out, and it's not that I didn't want people to know. I just didn't. I just thought, you know what? I don't need people contacting me. All, how are you doing? What's going on? If I'm having a good day, and because I didn't know what was going on, I didn't. I'm positive about it. I'm not down. But at the same time, there's that alternative. What if? And when you're having a day that's rough, and somebody contacts you and you finally get your mind off of it, you just don't want to think about it, that type of thing. So I just didn't say anything. But a few people mentioned it, and I thought, I've got a lot of close friends and family that care for me. Almost every one of them have Facebook, or I've got some good YouTube friends. They follow you on social media or whatever. So it just makes it easier just to do a live video, get it over with. To be honest, I'm not one to sit there and just chat, so open the window up and just start talking to a camera. So it makes it easier that I've asked you, and I appreciate you helping me.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes, it's like ripping the Band-Aid off. You don't want to do it, but like you said, it eventually it's going to get out to everybody. And then
Right.
the amount of attention that's going to bring, because we all know, there's so many people that, have crossed paths with you in some way, with all the conventions that you've been to, and our old
Right.
Mill Parafest. I mean, the amount of people that all have been around for years and years and years. I mean, how many it was a couple decades worth of just paranormal people. I mean, with plenty, of course you still have plenty of family and friends and stuff that have been around a lot longer, but obviously over
Right.
the years, several decades of making so many friends in and around Michigan, you know, they, it in some way they they're going to be a part of it. They're going to do whatever they can do.
Right.
And even just the small messages of just, like we're seeing in some of the chat, just well wishes and praying and whatever works for and whatever anybody's beliefs are, just the positive intentions to get you through this. And that's, I think, the biggest thing that we can all do. I mean, in any
Right.
situation, we've got to just push that positive energy. We've got to surround everybody with love and light, and we're all going to get through it. We're all going to get
Yeah.
through it.
Yeah.
There's no we're not losing. We're not, we're not, already starting to dig any dirt. We're not uncovering anything. We're not even going to get close to that point. So we're going to just sit there and fight through this like we do, and um,
Right.
stuff happens, unfortunately. And, for somebody like you that has, been a pivotal part of a lot of people's journeys, and the love and joy that you've provided everybody, and not just in the paranormal community, but you've done so much even with, the Frenchtown, community, and the the compassion you have for wanting to help people,
Right.
goes a long way. So, we, we're all behind you. I mean, there's no way
Right.
we're not behind you in this. And we're, you've got so many people behind you. It's not even funny at this point.
Right. And even though everything looks good at this point, I was at first I was a little I wasn't I can't say negative, but there was more doubt, I guess is a good way to put it. Um, because I just wasn't sure, you know, what that you never know how it's going to go.
Yeah.
But after seeing the surgeon, he really put my mind at ease.
Yeah.
Um, he mentioned um, he was a little bit better, I think, than the oncologist was about it,
Yeah.
explaining things, and I felt good when I left there after talking to him. So, um, Jimmy, I see your comment. I I mentioned it briefly. I was diagnosed with breast cancer recently, so I've been getting ready for going through all the tests and all the crap. And but yeah, you mentioned the Frenchtown community. That's one of the things I haven't stopped doing.
Yep.
I just oddly enough, the two events that I've done this year or this month was Relay for Life and a 5K walk or run this past weekend for a young child that died of cancer. They were
See.
both cancer related
See.
events, and I've done Relay for Life, with the Frenchtown Fire CERT for I think 5-6 years.
Mhm.
You know, we do the first aid and that there. Um, Last year we did the Dylan Lewis Memorial 5K run. Doing offering first aid and that. This year we did the same thing. We helped them set up and um, our truck that we have has a bunch of equipment. So we had cones. We put the cones out, to block roads, and um, so and we've got the third. We've got the fireworks coming up. I'm
Right.
participating with it. So
Right.
um, down the road when the chemo starts, that's gonna be a different. I'm gonna take it. I had one of the first people I informed before I even had the test to prove, to see what it was, to verify it, is I went to Justice at Frenchtown Fire Department and I told him, I said, look, I found a lump. It's rather large. It's not uncommon for guys to have it, but it's usually not cancerous.
Right.
And I said, but I want you to know because if it is, it's going to affect my participation. And being one of the few driver operators, DOs that we have, it's going to affect them as well. You know, so and then on the way back when I found out, I stopped at the fire station and I let him know. So, but I still plan on participating as much as I can. Because even that, I can, I can still participate a lot. You know,
Absolutely. Yeah, and even then, I mean, obviously, it affects everybody a little bit differently, as far as the treatment goes, and you might feel like you're full of energy and ready to run yourself in a marathon. So I mean, you certainly could be showing up and still participating, but obviously, it makes sense to to just throw it out there just in case that if I can't make this one, you'll certainly do your best to make the next one, of course. And
right,
but yeah, I mean, the idea of keeping yourself active as best you can within the confines of what you're going through, and how it
right,
affects you. But yeah, I mean, to be motivated to push through, is going to go a long way. And that's,
right,
we, for a lot of people that have, I think everybody's known somebody that has, fortunately had cancer and have dealt with it in multiple levels. It giving up is one of the easiest things to do, but fighting for you and fighting,
right.
to continue on is a challenge, but it's a challenge, worth going through. And, I personally, tell people when on my pages and things that, you don't want to give up. You, regardless of how hard things can be for you and the struggles that you go through, regardless of what the situation is, to keep your hopes up as high as you can, because it's going to make a huge difference. And even on the rough days, just know that when
Sure.
you wake up in the morning, it's another day and another day to keep fighting for.
Yeah, like I say, I only had one really rough day, and it wasn't. I can't say it was really all that rough. The good thing about it was, is, I could go to work and you know nobody was there to see it.
Right.
you
Yeah.
know, but it is what it is. I mean,
Yep.
you know, shit happens. We'll deal with it as it comes along. I mean,
Yep.
eh, 2017 was probably the worst year I had, and I made it through.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know, so I'm not giving up.
Yep.
That's for sure.
Yep. Yeah. If you can make it through 2017, this this
Yeah,
should be too much different for you at this point, at least mentally. You know, maybe the treatments are going to be a little different, but
yeah,
at
much
least at this,
different.
yeah. But you're right. It's just one of those things. That we the point of all the friends, family, and people that have even met you once. How could you not? How can we
Right.
not rally around Tim, for God's sakes? You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. We have so many, I have so many friends in that I've met, especially through the paranormal, that the healing, and so many prayer warriors, and you know, it just, I thought, you know what, it can't hurt, you know. So
It ain't gonna make it worse.
that's right.
It's not gonna make it worse.
That's right.
Yep. But and the important thing too is you just being able to welcome it as well. I mean, that's like you said, you didn't really want to share it too much, but you obviously knew at some point everybody's going to find out. And but then that still leaves the whole point of opening yourself up and letting everybody being able to shower you with comments and to shower you with love and light and healing in whatever way that everybody is willing to provide. And that stuff goes a long way. And seeing comments like a lot of we're seeing here already, it's just those are the things that is that motivation. Those are the things that push us through. And like I said already, and whatever we're going through. And for
Right.
you, you know, obviously it's a big deal. And so we, you know, to have everybody say what, you know, they need to say, and however they words they want to say it. And so, you know, it's important. And I'm glad you know, you did, you know, want to share this in this compassion in this way, because that way everybody can hear it from you. They can see it, you know,
It
from
makes it
your own
easier.
words. Yeah.
It makes it a lot easier because, you know, I got to thinking about it and I thought, what if there's no way with all the friends and family I have, I could never text or message or everybody. It's just impossible,
I
you
know.
know. I mean, I was talking to I sent my cousin a message last night, and she let her mom and dad know, and I got a message from them. I didn't even have their cell phone numbers. It's been so long. I mean, I've seen them, you know. I've gone to their house, but you know, the only number I had was a house number.
Right.
You know, so I'm thinking I could never inform everybody. You
Yeah.
know, there's a lot
And
of distant friends and family that you don't see often, and you know, so this is just easier.
social media does help. I mean, it is one bonus to social media. I mean, yeah, we
It's
could
not all
you,
bad,
yeah, it's not all bad. I mean, you know, the news isn't great, and obviously, you know, it stinks regardless of how you want to look at it. But you
right?
know, this does help share it, because obviously not everybody's, you know, right there, you know, in the same vicinity as you, and so, you know, we're reaching out to everybody, you know, around the country and around, you know, so um, you know, I know I would be doing the same thing. I know I would get to the point like you gather yourself enough to where you could get on here and just speak the truth and share it and be like, yep, I'm
Right.
dealing with this. Here we go.
And you know, to lighten things up, we could always bring in a naked dancing chick.
There you go. There you go. Yeah,
My Daisy sitting here with me.
yep. And there's nothing wrong in that too. You get compassion from every walk of life.
Yeah, she's always laying here with me. Duke is on the floor over there. You never know with him, but she's always got to be up laying up against somebody. She's looking at me like, "What are you doing to me?"
It's like you're talking to some
I
like
was
flashing screen.
I was trying to sleep here.
I know it was funny earlier this morning. Tim was talking to me, you know, just checking in with each other and stuff. And he was just like, he got up and he, you know, kicked the blankets off. And then Daisy was trying to get back underneath him as best he could, or as best she could, you know, and her whole back was exposed. But at the same time, it was funny because she just wanted that warmth.
Yeah, she she's always she's just like Bowser,
Yeah.
the dog I had years ago. Um, she loves to be under the covers, and it was no different. Usually there's just like a foot sticking out when she tries to cover herself, or maybe a tail and a little bit of her butt or something. And I'll come up and I'll scratch her back and I'll say, "I see a daisy butt." This time, the whole back.
Right.
It was funny. I had to get a picture.
Yeah. That's awesome. No, that was fun to watch. I mean, because I get it, you know. I mean, I, I say, whoa,
Ah, I was trying to add my phone so I could show that picture, but it
oh,
couldn't get it to mute.
that was a heck of a feedback loop there. But yeah, uh, but yeah, no, I mean, you know, it's I think the I think like just like anything, you know, it sucks, you know, in any regards, you know,
Right,
to have somebody, you know, like you. I mean, to
right.
you've dealt with a lot, you know, already, and then to throw a little bit more into the mix just makes it, you know, like, you know, what's going on. And obviously you could get to that point, which, you know, as far as I know, up to this point, you have it, but you obviously can get to the point where you're so angry, you know, you get through the depressing part of it, of just like, oh my gosh, I have cancer. And then, you know, what am I going to do? And, you run through the questions of this, that, and the other, and then you switch it over to anger, where then you're just furious about everything. And, and obviously that doesn't help. It's okay to have your moment, to have the sadness and stuff. And, granted, we can say that you can have a little bit of anger knowing that you're going to kick its ass. I mean, we do know that. So, but
Right.
it's, just getting through those moments, whenever they happen, like you said, you've had one, rough night, and, that's the way it goes sometimes. But, obviously on the flip side, you bounce back, and it's like, it's cool. We're going to keep doing this, and we're going to get through it. And, it'll just be one of those things that will be a distant memory, down the road once we get through it.
Right. Yeah. The one rough night I had was I, um, it, it was before I had seen the surgeon, and I was, like I said, I didn't not believe that I was going, that everything was going to come out okay, but there was doubt. And I looked down and I seen Daisy, and I looked over and I seen Beth, and that was it.
Yeah. And it's natural. I
Yeah.
mean, because, you can't help but, you know, we've all experienced it at some point in our lives with somebody we know, whether it's really close or a friend, or, and then to, realize now it's like something you kind of have to deal with, and you're realizing everybody that's right around you, like your dogs and
Right.
Beth, you can't help but be emotional over it. And that's natural,
Yeah. I somebody made a asked me, I don't remember exactly what it was. I don't want to say what happens if it doesn't turn out the way whatever. And I just said, Beth had a rough time with hearing about Duke having bone cancer, and we were it was a pretty rough couple of days. And Daisy is so close to Duke. That was the reason we adopted both of them. You know, to the point where if you leave the room with him, she's at the door crying. And it's gonna be rough for her
Yeah.
as well. And I was like, those two are gonna be a mess when Duke goes. I can't go too.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, Got to bring a little humor into it. You know,
Hey, it wouldn't be right if we weren't sitting there having a good time,
right?
because darn well that, if humor is going to be one of those aiding factors that gets you through this, darn well I'll bring it.
Here's that picture. I don't know if it'll. Yeah, it's showing
Yeah,
up.
there you
Okay.
go. Yep. Got the whole back out, but
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing, is there's, like I said, there's enough people that are going to be able to provide so many different elements to your healing and your recovery and getting through this. And yeah, like I said, it's there's a great group of people that all know you and adore you. And so,
Right.
that's, I think, the power of humanity, and how we all can really truly come together around somebody when they're down, and regardless of what that down is, you throw out that point like you have tonight, and just saying, hey, I've got a situation, and you know what? I need a little love and support, and
Right.
it's going to happen. There's too many people, again, that just care so much about you, and I know I do. you know
Right.
I you wouldn't have been so gracious to have me help you out tonight, if I was just some stranger.
Right.
But at the same point, I've said, even since we've met, I mean, you ever need anything, you just let me know. And
Right.
I I will certainly be there through whatever it takes, as long as I can see you, happy and smiling, and that's the bottom line at this point.
Yeah, and it, the thing is, when I was thinking about it, you know, I thought there was a point where I thought I'm not going to do it because it's going to be rough for me to just jump on because I'm going to sit there and babble like a fool, not knowing what to say. You know, it's an introduction always helps, and I thought I probably should ask somebody to do it, but then I thought, no, I'm not going to do that either because I don't want anybody to be butthurt over it. You know,
Right.
but ultimately, I thought, it'll be so much easier for me. And like I had mentioned early on, you and I have become such good friends since, with everything. I just, we've got a chemistry, and I just thought it's just easier that way. But yeah, at least this way, people know, and if there, I know a lot of people that are prayer warriors or healers or whatever, like I mentioned earlier, and it'll just, in their own way, however they want to do it, they can help.
Yep. Yep.
It's no offense to anybody else that I didn't ask them, but I don't need 50 people to help me. Just,
Imagine the window all being stacked up with, which you could easily do that. Sure, you could have everybody,
and know most of the people we know, everybody would be wanting to talk over each other.
yeah. Yeah. And yet we still, that's the point. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your words and your voice, and um, hear it from you, because I mean, it's easy, you could have posted about it, you could have typed it all up, and you could have had, somebody else say the whole thing for you instead of, you saying it. But, I think it goes a long way with you doing it because, you're taking a stand by you, sharing
Yeah.
it, and you're not afraid to share it. And, all valid in thinking that, maybe I shouldn't do that, or, maybe I shouldn't make a big deal out of this. And, don't get me wrong. I mean, I think I'm probably stubborn just like you. It's like, you don't really want to ask for help. I mean,
I'm
I can
not
take care of
stubborn.
myself. Right. I mean,
Whatever Beth has been telling you, she's lying.
right. you know, stubborn, it is what it is, but, you know, but obviously there's times where you do have to you got to throw that thought aside, and you got to just say,
Right.
you know what, I need some help, and it doesn't change who you are at all.
Right.
It just makes you stronger, and it makes you um, more humble, and being able to then now open yourself up to receive all this love and support that you're going to get
Right.
moving forward as get through this.
Right. And you mentioned um, putting a post out there, and that was originally what I was thinking of doing. And I was trying to think of a way to word it. You know, it's not the easiest thing to do sometimes, even though I can have diarrhea of the mouth. Sometimes it's when it comes to something like that, you just get word block. You don't know,
Yep.
and I didn't want it to sound down,
Yeah.
oh woe is me, because I'm not down about it. I mean, like I said, it is what it is. I've been through worse, and you know I made it through, and I'm not going to let this take me. But I just thought, this is probably the best way to do it as far as informing, everybody that loves and cares for me, rather than reading a text or something
Yeah.
on Facebook or whatever. I thought it's a little more personal,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, the tone of your voice, regardless of how you share it, and and you've
Right.
mentioned it several times, and the you can't take away from how you sound about it. We can read messages all day long and take it the wrong way and realize that later on, oh, that's not how they meant it because of the tone. And so to be able to personally vocalize it so that way everybody truly understands and can see that, you're not completely, curled up in a ball on the couch,
Like Daisy is.
right. So, yeah, I mean, but it shows the the positivity of the energy that you're putting into this, that, you know, you're not giving up. You know, that was obviously never going to be a situation for you regardless, even if you never shared it with everybody publicly like you are tonight. But you're, you know, just trying to do whatever it takes, that even just a little bit of extra, you know, support, it's going to make a difference regardless of, you know, you know, being stubborn through it or not. It's going to make a difference.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
I know. Yeah. Have no
Yeah.
idea whatsoever. But
Yeah, like I say, I appreciate it because it does make it a little easier, you know. And I do appreciate all the, you know, the kind words and the, you know, the prayers and the, you know, the healing or whatever, whatever you believe in, you know.
mhm.
So like
Yep.
I told my aunt when I was talking to her earlier, I said, you know, she said something about praying, and I don't remember exactly how she put it, but you know, something like don't hesitate to ask or something. And I said, well, you can never have too many prayers, whether you need them or not. It can't hurt, you
Nope.
know.
Nope.
So that's why when, you know, I mentioned it to you, and you know, we were talking, and I just thought, you know, we'll do it.
Yeah. No.
So, and
And
I appreciate your help, and you know, and everybody, you know, that sees it, you know, and I'm not, you know, I mentioned that I didn't want a bunch of people bugging me, and it's not that you know, I don't want people bugging me. If anybody has any questions, just send me a text. You know, I don't
yep.
care, or message or whatever. I'm not against it. I just I think I think the if I would have just posted it, that would have been harder because you'd have had all these comments and everything, and try and go through. And to be honest, I don't follow Facebook much anymore. You
Yeah.
know, I don't get on
It's just,
Facebook. I don't get on Twitter much. You know, there's a lot of things that I used to do that I just, you know, I don't. It's too much negativity anymore.
it's true.
You know, after the not this election, I'm sure it'll start all over again. But the last election, I was like, you know what, I don't need all this
I
crap.
know.
You know,
It is true. You know, that's the unfortunate part about social media. There is a lot of negative stuff, and
yeah.
you know, and obviously you avoid it as best you can, and like you've done, the best way is just not to even look. I
I
mean,
get on now, and if I get a notification, I'll get on. You know, I'll reply to it, or I'll post things from time to time. I haven't given up Facebook or anything, but
yeah,
you know, any of them. But it's just I don't get on there very often. So,
mhm.
but I don't even know what I was talking about now.
No,
One
you're
of
good.
things, but yeah,
Yeah,
I just think this was easier.
yeah, yeah. Well, it you know, and with, you know, the technology that we do have nowadays, I mean, it does get to show people a different side to everybody. I mean, like I said, you can easily hide behind a bunch of words, you know, but then being able to say a little bit and talk a little bit about what you're just now getting started, you know, obviously there's still lots more questions and things to still pop up as you keep
Right.
continue on. But yeah, I mean, it's to hear it from you, you know, directly, just makes, you know, it it makes you feel more connected to, you know, the
Right.
situation at hand. And now that, you know, we know what's going on, um I mean, the the amount of force that's gonna, you know, hit you, you know, is going to be one of those things that you'll feel it. You know, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you have trouble sleeping for a little.
I already have.
I was gonna say,
Trust me.
everybody starts throwing you some love and light, man. You're like, I
Yeah.
need a little sleep. You know, cut me some slack a little bit, right?
When you know, somebody will ask me how you feeling today, or you know, something to that effect, and I'll be like, well, hey, I got 3.5 hours tonight.
Right.
I haven't been doing very well with sleeping, especially
Yeah.
since I heard, you know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
what sleep I, you know, I might sleep 4 or 5 hours, but I'm up during that a couple times. So, but
It happens.
yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's, whether it's what you're going through or, anybody else that's struggling with something. I mean, your mind takes over, unfortunately. And, sometimes it goes to places that, isn't the best. And it certainly then keeps you awake.
Right.
So,
and I do have to say, all these years I've heard about, all the ladies in my life bitching and pissing and moaning about mammograms and how bad they are. It ain't that bad. Now I'm even questioning childbirth. The pain and come on.
see, you don't think that Tim's going to slack off on the comedy. So, I mean, if you've never hung out with this guy, he's got to.
I think that was probably, I've heard so many horror stories about how painful it is, and I'm thinking, oh God, I'm already sore anyway. I was. I think that was probably the worst anxiety I had going into the test, and now the.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at her.
Yeah, she's one of them all these years. I had to get my tit in the ringer. It wasn't a good day. I had to do it twice in a day, right. And then once a couple weeks later. But
yeah, there's Deb. Yeah. I'm sure it matters. I mean, I'm sure it matters. There's obviously different, yes.
Yeah, the biggest worry I have now, I think, is back in 2017 when I had the pulmonary embolism and was in the hospital. The only way they could verify that it was definitely blood clots was to do a CT scan. Yep. The other scan they could do without contrast was I think they said that the weight limit was like 250 pounds. It wasn't very heavy, and I was over it. So they couldn't do it, and they called around other places, couldn't find anybody that had anything bigger, and it wasn't long. The contrast is bad for kidneys, and I've been in stage 3 kidney failure for years, and they informed me of the complications that I could have, and we chose to go ahead and do it. And I don't remember how long after, a month or two after, I wound up in not feeling well, and I was in renal failure. My doctor called me on his cell phone and said, "You need to get to the hospital." And I said, "Well, he said, "I don't want to hear I got this or I got that. You need to go now. You're in renal failure." And, I after days of being in there, it was, they came in, they said, "We can't get it to improve. And tomorrow morning we're going to start you for dialysis." And luckily, the next morning they checked it first, and my kidneys have bounced back. And I've always made the comment, you can only punch them things so many times before they bruise too bad.
Right.
So that kind of worries me, because I had the MRI with contrast today, and then next week I have a CT scan with contrast. So I'm a little worried about my kidneys, but the alternative is worse.
It's true.
So
yeah.
Luckily, my kidney function was real good when I had it checked last week. So that's always a good thing.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That's why I was chuckling a little bit ago.
I see it pop up.
I saw it pop up, and then I read it, and I'm like, I can't not smile at that. So I wasn't trying to be mean about what you were talking about, but I'm like,
when I seen you trying to hide your laughter, I was wondering what it was, and I looked at the comment.
I couldn't hold it in. That made a valid point. It's true.
And
I don't think we want that.
She usually does.
You're right.
Yeah.
Oh man,
They
yeah.
don't call her our paramom for nothing.
Right. We love Deb. We
Yeah,
do. Yeah, golly, yeah, it's you know, like I said, I think, speaking on behalf of everybody, that's seeing this live or catching this back at some other point. I mean, we definitely can't, not wish you all the best, in that, you mean a lot to us. We love the hell out of you. So,
right.
there's no way that we're going to just be like, yeah, we might get to the point where we see you getting a little down. You know, damn well we're going to be like poking at you to get you to smile or laugh at something because we know we ain't going to let you down for long. We'll give you
Right.
we'll give you a couple hours maybe, but you, you ain't going to be curled up in no ball with, with all of us behind you.
After that, it's like, come on, get up, and stop crying, you baby.
You're right.
You got shit to do.
Right. I mean, it's just, it's the thing is it's, and, when even started mentioning it to the team and stuff, and we're just like, we're not going to go there. We're not going to think the worst end of things, we're going to,
Right.
be positive through it all. And even when, we finally found out, it was just like, damn it. But you know what? It doesn't mean we're, none of us are giving up. And it's just a hurdle. It's just a hurdle
Right.
that we got to get over. And, we can do it. We certainly can do that. And,
Yeah.
the first sign of giving up is, the thing that, says, we'll be smacking you silly, because we ain't gonna let you give up. I don't care what
Right.
you say. Leave me alone. No, we're not leaving you alone.
as,
Get out of bed. Let's go.
as it should be. I would do the same.
Right? Of course you would. You know. I mean, we have to, hit Beth on the side and be like, "Open the door. We're coming and getting them." I mean, you open the door now. We'll
Yeah.
figure it out. We'll all come crashing to the door. I'm trying to sleep. No, you're not. Get up. Get outside.
You
Let's
got
go.
your 2 hours. I don't care
Right,
if you were awake through an hour and a half of it.
right. Get outside. Let's go. We'll get you walking around barefoot. We'll get you grounding. So we'll get that started. We'll all start dancing around you. Whatever it takes.
And that's the thing. I haven't stopped anything I've been doing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not. After the chemo starts, that'll be a different story, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I even then, I intend to try and stay as active as I can, just to, you know, when you start sitting and you don't have anything going, that's when you start thinking, you know. So
Yep. Oh
if
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, and I think that goes with even just a lot of the people that, I mean, I think we all know. I mean, even just on the mental aspect of a lot of things going on in life. I mean, you know, distractions are a good thing, even though you may feel like you do want to curl up in that ball, so to speak, but you can only do that for so long. You've got to get to the point where you got to bounce back. And one of the things I've told a lot of my, followers and things is that you get today. So if today's your depressing day, your emotional day, today's it. Like right now, this
right,
is we're eight, getting on 8:30 this evening, but God damn it, tomorrow morning you're waking up, you're standing up, and let's go. You know what I
right,
mean? You've had your moment. Now let's regroup and let's get moving forward. You just can't continue to do that day after day because it's not going to get better if you don't push yourself, even if it's just a little bit.
yeah,
Even if it means that you got to get up and just do a couple little laps around your house or something, just start walking and moving, just getting that blood flowing. It's not rocket science, just little things to get you moving a little bit more. That's what needs to happen. And if it means
there.
that we got to call you up and, make you laugh, I don't, whatever.
I When it comes to that, this one here,
That's true.
she will keep me busy. It's just like out of the blue, all of a sudden she's like, "Here's the ball, let's go."
Right.
And it's like, "Come on, Daisy, we played for a ball for a half hour now."
But they know. I mean, there's so many great people, like Deb knows too. We know when animals are presenting things like that, being like, you need to get moving. That is, they know when you need to get your butt out of, off the seat and moving again. I mean,
Right.
even though, you might be just throwing the ball around the room, that's just the distraction, the motivation to do something and have some fun. Of course you might be throwing the ball and working out a little bit, but you could see the joy on her face.
Yeah, she's I don't. Last week or so, she's been a little pain in the butt with wanting to play with the. She'll just come over and she'll stare at me and she'll start barking. And if Beth is here, Beth will be like, "Hush!" And she'll just bark and bark. And then I'll go to get up and she'll start dancing, and you don't know what she wants. She could want a treat, she could want out, she could but lately it's she'll walk over to the ottoman over here, and she'll nudge it, and that's where her stash of lamb chops are.
Okay.
We had some. I have some. They're like tennis balls, but they're made for dogs and they squeak.
Yeah.
Those are in there. They're sweaters. There's stuff for the winter. All that's in there. But the two more important things for her is that my mom had gotten some poor tennis balls, regular tennis balls, and brought them home from work, and somebody gave them to her. Daisy loves them too, and they hold up better than them other ones.
Wow.
So
okay,
she'll go over and she'll nudge it, and I'll be like, "Daisy, there's like 6 lamb chops that are already out here, and she'll nudge it again, and I'm a sucker. So I open it up. She gets another lamb chop just to rip the guts out.
Right.
She wants to play tug of war. She wants the ball thrown. She's really been last week or so, pain with the ball. She wants to play ball, and then she'll go over to her bed, and I'll think, all right, I'll get to sit down. About the time your ass hits the couch, she's back.
Yeah, she had her quick little 5-minute break.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shouldn't have sat down, stupid.
You're right. Yeah, that's true. Obviously, if none of us are gonna, if none of us are getting to the point where we're having to motivate you, we certainly know that Daisy's going to be all over that. So you're covered.
Too. Except for now, she's
she wants to sleep. Yeah, I'm going to bed. That's great.
She's like, "You lifted me up. I can sleep here too."
And I think that's and it's great that you do have your pets, and that you have you can clearly see. I mean, even just what she's doing, she's like completely nuzzled up against you, and right. Obviously that helps in so many different ways. I mean, I think anybody that's owned pets in some way,
This was just before we went on.
Oh, okay.
Duke was up here.
he's not into the full shot. He's like, I'll give you a little profile, but we're not gonna.
He'll do something, and I'll think, oh, I got to get a picture of that. Especially, like I had mentioned early on with him having bone cancer, and knowing that he's not going to be around much longer. I'll think, oh, I got to get a picture of that.
Yep.
And as soon as the camera comes out, he's like,
right.
Like, come on, Duke.
Never fails.
Just give me one good picture. One good one. Just cooperate just a little bit.
Yeah. It'll just be one of those things where you're just going to have the phone in your hand the entire time, and then that way you can snap it as fast as you can. You know? Yeah. But no, I mean, I think it's great that you do have your dogs. I mean, obviously unfortunate with Duke, and what is right. to come at this point, but but just like that, you're showing Duke just the same amount of attention that he deserves. You make it as best as you can in showing that he is loved in many ways. And that's, the whole thing that, we all want to do for you as well, to know that we can be there for you, you know, and you know, that's it. It's just that kind of like that circle that we're all coming
Right.
around to support in any way we can. And you know, because obviously, you know, yeah, it would terrible to just, you know, let Duke sit over on the side and then that's it, you know.
Right.
But to give him that attention, that goes a long way. And you know, we're definitely going to do that for you.
Yeah. It's quick funny story. We were um, was it Sunday yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah. We went for a walk. Um, you know, Duke and Daisy both love to go out for a walk, and even though he's got the pain from the bone cancer, he's on pain meds twice a day, and he does pretty good walking. But eventually, he gets tired. He wants to go all the time, nonstop. And so we took him for a walk. The vet said, "Go ahead. If he shows signs, just bring him home." So we went to a small park here locally and walked along the creek. And when he started showing signs, he was getting tired and limping a little more. I told Beth, I said, "Go ahead and take him back." And then, as we've been doing, um, we either stop for a burger, or usually it's ice cream. He loves ice cream. So we went to a place up in Flat Rock that I had never been to, and we're sitting at a picnic table, and I broke the burger up, and mine's sitting there, and I'm feeding them. And a lady walks up, and she's an older lady. She says, "Oh, that's so sweet. They get their own burger." And of course, they both went nuts barking, and she had mentioned that she recently lost one of her dogs that she's
Oh,
had. I think I want to say it was like 12 years old or something. And she said, every time I see somebody with pets, she said, I just want to give them some love. She said, she was telling me that everybody says it's time for another one, and she said, I'm just not ready.
yeah,
Long story short, I mentioned that we've been pampering him a little more, because he does have the bone cancer, and he's not going to be around. And we've only had him since January, but at least he's gonna, when he does go, it won't be in a shelter, or
yep,
he'll be loved.
yep.
But and this lady's sitting there crying, and I'm tearing up, and it's like, so when I finished my burger, I walked them over there, and they got some love. But
Nice.
that's what we've been doing, you
Yep.
know, as much as we can on the days Beth and I are off. Beth made the comment, I think it was last weekend, not this past weekend, but the weekend before. She's like, we can go to the park, but I don't want ice cream again.
Right.
I've had enough ice cream. And I just told her, I said, it's not for you, it's for Duke.
Right.
We stopped on the way home. She didn't get one, but Duke and Daisy did.
Little pup cups, or you know, whatever they call
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
That's
So,
yeah. Oh, yep. Yeah, I get. Yeah, it's well, you know, and I mean, how do you not, you know, have any type of compassion for,
right,
for anything, at this point? I mean, anything living, and I mean, we've, my home here. I mean, we've, increased our, animal, pet things, and so I mean, even for me, um, you see, if one of them, becomes sick, it's going to be like, it's rough, and,
sure,
you've lived with them and stuff. And, they truly become family and things, and you can't do anything but show them the love and support. And, I have a couple guinea pigs. That's some of the ones I do have, and even then, unfortunately, I can't pick them up anymore because I break out in rashes and things. So,
right,
now the only thing I can do is just, give them some food, or give them a little, treat, like the, extra little veggie or something like that. And so, I do what I can. Obviously, as much as I would love to pick them up, but then I
right.
just break out. So I'd have to like suit up in a Tyvek suit or something, to pick them up. And I'm like, I do the best I can, and still, show what I can for them, as limited as I can be with them. But, you know, uh, it's just one of the things. I mean, it would kill me. We've had one guinea pig before, and I never got to pick that one up. But these I did, until I realized, when I started watching my arms break out. And Yeah, go figure. I don't think it was them directly. I think it had to do something, with the litter or the hay or something. And
Right.
but now I just to be careful. I just if the wife or my daughter are holding her, I'll can pet on top of the head and I'm fine. So, but I can't hold them. But I still do what I can to give them a few little treats here and there that are a little bit more than they normally would get. So
Yeah.
yeah.
These two as well. You'd walk in one kitchen cabinet. We had put the treats in there, and then it went from the bottom shelf to the top shelf too. And then it was like, well, there ain't enough room here, so we'll add a little on this side. And then it's like, well, we've got extra, so they're up on top.
Right.
They got so much crap that they're so spoiled.
Right. And you know what? And especially like in Duke's, case, it's like, you know what? You deserve it, bud.
Yeah.
You've lived an amazing life, even just with you guys so far. I mean, and I obviously, he's been well taken care of, and I've got to meet him a couple times, so I mean,
Yeah.
you know they've been great, and so it's you just do what you got to do to keep him comfortable and let him enjoy what he's got.
Yeah. I'll never forget that night they were at the mill. Where'd Duke go? I don't know. He was walking that way just a minute ago, and he's out by the river. Just
No.
the
Yeah.
door came open, and she's the one that usually escapes. She's the
Right.
one that you got to watch. But yeah,
Oh gosh. Yeah. But man, okay. But
yeah.
yeah.
You probably want to get to bed. We probably should jump off of here. But just to recap, so that anybody that came in late, just a quick recap. The couple months ago, we found out that our dog that we adopted Duke and Daisy. Most of them have probably seen pictures on Facebook or whatever. Duke was diagnosed with bone cancer, and then we thought that couldn't get any worse. About a week and a half weeks later, um, about a week and a half, 2 weeks, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So um, I called when Duke is laying here with me. Some nights I'll be like, calling my little cancer cousin. You don't care. You can call him whatever you want as long as you fill his belly with treats
Right.
and that. But I'm definitely upbeat about it. I'm positive, but everybody is going to want to know, and I don't want it. I just thought this was the easier way to do it,
Yeah.
and I appreciate you helping me, Adam.
Mhm.
It did make it a lot easier.
We had some fun. I mean,
Yeah,
even with the
always.
serious of news, I mean, we still had some fun and get a couple chuckles in there for
Yeah,
everybody to show that you're not sitting there boo-hooing about it. I mean, you've had your moments, and which is completely acceptable, but you're willing to get off that couch, and you're willing to get through this, with
sure.
everybody's help and support, and that's the important thing, that we you don't stay on that couch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I haven't, like I said, with the um, well, I mentioned the um, earlier. I mentioned doing the Relay for Life, first aid
Yeah.
for Relay for Life, and the Dylan Lewis Memorial Pineapple Run here this past weekend. I had forgot we did the Melvindale days too, standing out there in Melvin. That was interesting. When you think you've dealt with enough idiots and assholes here, go on up there. Oh my God, we had uh, one guy get out and throw one of the barricades away and then ran the other one over. Another guy hit another barricade. I think there was like 3 or 4 barricades hit that night. 2 of them were where we were.
Jeez.
That was a rough night because we were standing out there so long. But I'm not giving up. I'm doing my normal everyday
Yep.
stuff, and
Yep.
until I can't do it anymore, I'm sure the chemo is going to change things.
Yeah.
Um, I get the chemo port the 15th, and after that, I'm sure things will change. But um, for now, I'm going to continue living life.
Yep.
You
And
know,
it's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, there's no reason for you to completely shut down at this point.
Nope.
You know how you feel. You know that you still got crap tons of energy still left to enjoy things and do things, and like you said, you've gone on walks and things, and you just got to
Yeah.
keep doing that stuff, and obviously I've always been a big um, proponent to saying, hey, get outside, get out and be with
Right.
nature. Yes, we know that, recently it's been a bit on the warm side, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. However, you
Yeah.
know, even just getting outside for a few minutes, standing on the porch or standing on your deck or whatever patio, just getting outside and just taking in some of the fresh air and the nature. And like I said earlier, I mentioned that we'll get you barefoot and go make you stand in the grass for a little while. I mean, get you grounded a little bit too. So we'll figure out ways to get you moving and feeling good.
Well, like I said, that's not hard.
Yeah.
I got my Daisy. she, she'll keep me busy.
Yeah, she will. She's awesome, and then even then, you could just see it that she's completely, comfortable with you and wanting to be with you. And that's, again, that's just one of those small things that to have the comfort and support, even at home. Not that we knew that Beth would, just give kind of be like, yeah, whatever, you know, you know, Beth's just going to stay on the other side, and you're going to have to get Daisy to give you a little bit of love. But no, I mean, yeah, you know that your family's got you too. So like I said,
Yeah.
obviously, the rest of us are extended family in some regards, and the community, especially the paranormal community, from all the different people you've been with and attended events. You've got it from, I mean, how I don't you couldn't even probably put a figure on how many different locations, you know
Right.
states and stuff of people that once they find out, you're going to be in good shape, and we'll get you through it.
Right. And one of the first people that, um, that said some kind words was Dustin Perry. We've met so many great people through the paranormal. You know,
Um,
that that's like I said, this was just the easiest way for me to share it rather than send a message out or post on Facebook or whatever you want to
yeah.
call it. But
Yep.
um, that way, you know. And again, I thank you for
Mhm.
for helping. It made it a lot easier because I would have I could you can work out a script or whatever, and then you sit there and you're like especially with this, your mind's in 100 different places.
Right.
So
Yep. Yeah. Well, thank you. And, I mean, we say it a bunch of times, but, I mean, love the hell out of you, man. And so whatever, and whenever you need something, not only myself, but obviously everybody else, you know,
yeah,
we ain't, we ain't saying goodbye. That's for goddamn sure.
yeah. The blood clots didn't take me in 2017. The cancer's not going to take me in 2024. It's that
Right.
simple.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So, thanks to everybody that did pop on here, or if anybody watches this back, definitely, give your support. Obviously, um, send some messages, but know that maybe he may not be able to get back to them, right away and stuff, but know that he is reading them. And, we just want to show the support that he deserves, for as much that he has given all of us. Like I said, over the years, there's so many events and situations that we've all been into that, Tim's always that smiling face that, you got to stop and talk to at some point. You can't leave him, so
Right.
yeah, like I said, we've all got you, and so I you know you ain't getting rid of me. I mean, out of anybody, I'm not going anywhere. So, you
Right.
know, I
And
got
whatever
you, buddy.
whatever you're into, whether it's praying or healing or hell dancing naked and make thinking it'll help. As long as you don't film it and I have to see it, I'm good with it.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. It's either that or it's going to have to be heavily blurred.
I'll take all the support I can get, but we'll get through it.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it, all the love and support from everybody, and especially for you helping me, Adam.
Yep.
I think this made it a lot easier.
Yeah. Cool, man.
So,
Yeah. I appreciate it. And, thank you for letting me be a part of it. And, we're going to do it, man. We're going to do this. And, we'll be, hopefully real soon we'll be sitting there laughing about this at this point, being like,
I do now.
F cancer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's literally what we'll be doing.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
But so we'll end it now. Thank you everybody, and thank you again, Adam.
Yep. Thank you, Tim. And best of luck. I mean, obviously I don't need to really say that, but just, for everybody else to echo it through everybody that's watching this and stuff. But yeah, best of luck, all the love and light, and, as much healing and prayers that we can give you, we're behind you, man. 100%.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we'll close out with one last picture, or the Daisy. She's trying to sleep. She absolutely loves this. Look at her.
She deserves it.
Bye, everybody.
See you later.